Okay, so we are actually currently in week one of the
I am the game.
Triple H regime. Now I get to wear more. I get to wear Triple H wristbands to go along with the Nexus armband, even though I have no idea what Nexus is currently going to be going through. So we had to see a champion crowned as the opening contest. So Mysterio defeated The Miz. Miz did a fantastic job. For Ray, this again kind of felt like one of his standard matches. Ray does put on a solid match, but it really does seem like he needs one or two more moves. If you gave Ray something like the House of Pain or a finisher beyond the Dead Fish Splash, I'd be happy with him dropping the dime every now and then on somebody getting the pinfall. But you know, a 619 to the Dead Fish Splash, I just, in the era where some of the newer, smaller guys are hitting shooting stars and 450s, a guy just jumping off and like he's doing a ski jump, it's just not doing it for me. That was your opening contest. Really good, nice back and forth. I'd rather have seen Miz get the title, but they put on Ray, so now Ray has been both the World Heavyweight as well as WWE Champion. I think he's held almost every belt with the exception of, I think, US. Don't recall if he was a tag champ or not. So anyways, Ray has held a ridiculously huge amount of belts. Next contest was Ziggler versus Bourne. Ironically, this was more kind of a squash match, but they do the right thing with Bourne. Bourne, regardless of who he's running, always puts on a very credible match. It was a very solid match for essentially still not being a squash, but it really gave the impression that Bourne at any point in time probably could have won that match. Which made it really solid. Then they had Keith Stone tattoo one of the Bellas. Seriously, I have no idea why. And then they had the match with Kelly and Eve versus Melina and Maurice, and Kelly won with, I don't even know what that finish move is. And it's kind of, I remember back when Melina was a face and she was actually really good in the ring. Now all of a sudden it seems like she's ridiculously lost a step. This match was just, it had nothing going for it at all. And I dread next week's Divas Battle Royal for the number one contendership going into SummerSlam. Because I know it's not going to be the following three. I don't picture it being Natalya, Tamina, or Beth Phoenix, the three who actually would deserve to actually hold the Divas Championship. H came out, and he discussed some things that happened last week, how he's taken over, and how he's re-signed some people. So he calls on the first person. It's a good old JR. Michael Cole goes on, a mini rampage about how he doesn't like him, calls him a hayseed, calls him two-faced. When he first said two-faced, I was waiting for a Bell's Palsy reference, but he didn't go there. Which is weird, because he brought up Lawler's dead mother, back when he was uber heel. Now he's just kind of there. He's better on SmackDown than he is on Raw, so he would almost work better on SmackDown, being more of a heel and playing against Booker T than he is now being kind of a wishy-washy heel against the King. So Triple H is like, well, you know what, you got a match. I got gear for you, don't worry, it'll be cool. Alright. Okay. Then Truth comes out, and I guess Truth is now currently entirely crazy as he's talking to two invisible Jimmies. And then H started doing it. So they had this kind of like comedic moment to it, but it just didn't really seem to be going anywhere. It seemed like it was definitely filler before the return of John Morrison. Morrison, who finally connected with Starship Pain. So that's good. You've got those two guys rekindling their feud. And if anything, Morrison needs to come back strong. Since he missed Money in the Bank, which is normally like his pay-per-view, it's his match. It's ridiculous high-flying spot. It screams out Morrison and screams out Bourne. Morrison wasn't in this one, so he's got some ground to cover. I'm even thinking that after he's done with R-Truth, Morrison and Ziggler would be really fantastic for the US title. Just saying. So then Cole gets to come out for his match. He comes out in Triple H's gear, Triple H's theme music, doing Triple H's spit takes. Not bad, fairly solid. Who's you take on? Zack Ryder in a squash match. good to see Zack Ryder on Raw. It's good. He actually deserves to be on Raw. He's got like 4 shirts and he hasn't been on Raw in like 5 months. So apparently, in so much form, he's marketable. If they keep on kicking out shirts for him, and he's not on TV. So again, really solid in the way of wrestling at this point, and a good squash match up against Zack Ryder. People are going, oh, you know what? Zack Ryder actually is a face. Last time he was used, he was a heel. Now he's a face. Through a face turn that must have happened at a house show. And then we get to come down to the actual main event. Somebody didn't get a title rematch. That person was John Cena. So John Cena versus Rey. All in all, decent match. I'm glad that, John Cena had an injury, which they played up so occasionally they did moves that looked kind of sloppy and fairly dangerous. But it's played that they both looked fairly exhausted. Mysterio having wrestled the first match of the night against The Miz, which was very hard fought, and doing a good job taking apart John Cena. And of course, like almost all matches that have John Cena title involved, John Cena won, becoming the 12 or 13 time champion. So people who thought H had a lot of title runs, H had I think 13. Cena is at either 12 or 13. He's either tied or is one championship run away from tying Triple H. So people who thought H was going to surpass Flair, Cena is really, really close. And then, he's just praying in the ring. The song Cult of Personality hits. And I went, oh, it's Punk. My buddy went, what? Like that was one of his older theme songs from either IWA Mid-South or Ring of Honor. So then Punk comes down. Gets in the ring. John Cena holds his belt up. Crowd, weak pop. Punk holds his belt up. Crowd, huge, ridiculous pop. So now, we're a couple weeks away from SummerSlam, and I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing this. This is really bizarre that I really don't want to see Punk take on Cena. I'd rather see Cena as like, a paper champ for a couple of months. Or see the belt no legitimacy as long as Punk occasionally shows up and lets people know that he is the actual champ. I think that's got a lot of legs to it. So actually, I'm really excited about what we did this week with Raw.